The U.S. Nuclear Power Regulator has suspended the shipment of certain radioactive materials used in reactors to China's largest state-owned CGN, or China General Nuclear Power Group. This indicates that Washington is increasingly concerned about Beijing's nuclear ambitions. The Nuclear Regulatory Commission stated, as per order dated September 27th, that the White House had determined that the suspension was necessary to further the national security interests of the United States and to enhance the United States common defense and security consistent with the Atomic Energy Act of 1954. This marks a significant step from Washington and underlines the crossing of a tactical red line. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes why the U.S. has suspended the shipment of radioactive materials to China. Let's get started. This video is sponsored by War Thunder. If you are, like us, fascinated by military vehicles and technology, I recommend you give War Thunder a try. It's a military vehicle combat game which you can download and play for free on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One with cross-platform support. It has a huge variety of more than 1,200 playable aircraft, tanks, helicopters, and ships from the 1930s to the 1990s, which you can take to battle on land, in the air, and at sea on more than 80 theaters of war. War Thunder's been kind enough to offer all Defense Updates viewers a special bonus, which will grant you a free premium tank, aircraft, or ship, and 3 days of premium account time for registering using our link in the description below. So take the plunge and join more than 20 million players from around the world. Recently, it came to light that China has begun construction of what seems to be more than 100 new silos for intercontinental ballistic missiles, or ICBMs. The site is in a desert near the northwestern city of Yemen. Commercial satellite images obtained by researchers at the James Martin Center for Non-Proliferation Studies in Monterey, California, show work is progressing at several sites in China's Gansu province. As per the pictures, there are 119 nearly identical construction sites, and these sites have features that are identical to existing launch facilities for China's arsenal of nuclear-tipped ballistic missiles. This seems to signal a major upgrade of Beijing's nuclear capabilities. The People's Republic of China has developed and possesses weapons of mass destruction, including chemical and nuclear weapons. The first of China's nuclear weapons tests took place in 1964, and its first hydrogen bomb test occurred in 1967. Tests continued until 1996, when China signed the Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty, CTBT. The number of nuclear warheads in China's arsenal is a state secret. There are varying estimates of the size of China's stockpile, ranging from 260 to 300. This is around 20 times less than what the US and Russia possess. But there are indications that China is looking to vastly increase its nuclear stockpile. The Pentagon, in a report to Congress last year, stated that China could at least double the number of its nuclear warheads over the next decade from the current stockpile in the low 200s. China is one of the few countries, along with the US, Russia, India, and probably Israel, to have an operational nuclear triad at present. Chinese nuclear triad includes land-based ICBMs, like DF-41, deployed from silos and mobile launchers, aircraft carrying free-fall nuclear bombs like Jian-H6s, and ballistic missile submarines like Type 92 and Type 94, which are armed with JL-1 and JL-2 SLBM, submarine-launched ballistic missiles. The U.S. was getting uneasy with Chinese intentions for a few years now. According to a press release from the U.S. Justice Department, China General Nuclear Power was indicted in April 2016 for conspiracy to unlawfully engage and participate in the production and development of special nuclear material outside the United States without the required authorization. Chris Ford, Assistant Secretary of State for International Security and Nonproliferation, outlined U.S. concerns about China's policy of military-civil fusion in July 2018, noting that Beijing is working to eliminate all barriers between its civilian and defense industrial sectors to promote the free flow of technology and expertise. He had stated China has announced in advance that they will use anything acquired through civil nuclear cooperation for military purposes if it advances Beijing's objectives. The suspension on the exports covers radioactive materials and deuterium for China General Nuclear Power Group, its subsidiaries, or related entities. Deuterium is a non-radioactive isotope of hydrogen. It's used in heavy water fission reactors in nuclear power plants. The stay further reinforces what was set in motion in 2018 by the U.S. administration under President Donald Trump, as per which certain restrictions were placed on shipments to China. There was a concern, even then, that materials meant for civil nuclear technology could potentially be used for military or other unauthorized purposes. Viewers may note that in August 2019, CGN was placed on a U.S. blacklist for allegedly making efforts to acquire sophisticated U.S. technology and material for diversion to military use in China. The head of the U.S. Strategic Command, Navy Admiral Charles Richard, has told lawmakers this year that a new generation of nuclear power plants China is developing could produce large amounts of plutonium that could be used to make nuclear weapons. While China has said its nuclear power program is for peaceful purposes, circumstantial evidence indicates otherwise. Admiral Charles Richard, who commands U.S. nuclear forces, said at a congressional hearing in April that a breathtaking expansion was underway in China, including an expanded arsenal of ICBMs and new mobile missile launchers that can be easily hidden from satellites. It was also noted that the Chinese Navy has introduced new nuclear weapons-capable submarines to its ever-increasing fleet. The time is ripe, and the U.S. seems to have put its foot down. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.